Hey everybody, hope your day's going well. Bear with me, I just thought, didn't have anything planned so much, but I wanted to hop on anyhow. Felt led to somehow, whatever that means. But no, it's when I think about at times like reboots, anytime new information comes in, you should file it to where how this applies to what I already know as a collective from your individual self. That's what I do for myself, and so always retucking stuff in here and there. Not always. Now and then, it's a good practice. It's my advice to everyone to learn to at least sit still for a minute or two, a few minutes, and head inward. Go to where no thought is in you, if possible. It's hard to do. Go to where there's no thought. And when you find that spot, that's where you find a world of some interchange that's potential, a whole new world that is inward. Otherwise, some of us never experience that because we have had this tendency, or it's common to mankind or people kind. This planet's peopling. And I'm quick to lose my thought when I think this way. But when I'm in that position and I think about what we actually know, again, because that's important. I'll never stop saying that because it's important for everyone. And again, we're made right from this planet. All the avatars come right off the planet, and we know that as a fact. And then we're the most living parts there are because we are a vessel that can have consciousness. Peak consciousness as humans, at least I'll cover that in a moment. So here we are, inherited the earth. Consciousness is on. And, some people, I've flew in a plane a few times, few-hour flights here or there. But there's some pilots and whatnot who fly around the world and they have a good, powerful view. They know what it's like to go this way, that way. Expanded more than, some of us regulars. And but we all can imagine with a little bit of knowledge, about longitude, latitude, the roundness of the other planets, the sun and the moon, and so we can all imagine in those kind of ways. And I have my own beliefs, and some of it is just so factual that, from what this world reveals to us. And and we've learned the effects of the sun and the moon. We've learned a lot about space and the stars. We've made it to the moon in spite of the conspiracy theorists. It doesn't take that much fuel once you're in the right trajectory. You don't need, I've heard so many, and I've believed a lot of them, probably told some of them, probably created some in my time. That's why I see the importance of not shun someone if they're you know, ticking on a cap that you have. I still don't know much at all. There's a bunch of people knows a whole lot more than me in this world. Saying what's real and truth sounds so basic, but yet hard to understand until you do. Then you realize, those capping beliefs, they can work a number on you, and they do. Because we only know what we know. You try to say you know more than what we know, or you know. Oh, well, that's my faith, and faith, evidence and things hoped for, and the assured expectation of, okay, we only know what we know. And I have faith in things as well, but perspective's everything. So that's what we know. Yes, what brings our consciousness alive, links us together to others. We can have communication. You got eye contact. You can touch and feel. And we are, here we are, literally we are this planet. We are the fruit. Maybe not its purpose and stuff. It could go way bigger. But in a briefing, on a measure that the credence level's high enough in my individual head to say this statement, we're the fruit of this earth. And we've inherited it. And so I've come through a lot of flavors of beliefs before, and mostly the Christian type of teachings from two different organizations that talk against each other, but yet their core comes from the same. Anyways, all the religions in the world, they might have some caps where they had it like this is how they say it, and they're saying the same thing as this one says it, and that one says it, and this one says it. There's only some that are off so bad that it's like, nah, you're literally taking things that were metaphorical, they were a collection of ancient things, and it got manipulated for different purposes. That's so harmful when history starts getting changed. But anyways, here's an intermission song. I'm tapping on a lot of caps. Oh, hey, tapping on a lot of caps. And that's about top and bottom. Finally popped mine off, and I'm just a baby with the free will and clarity to what do we actually know. And gather information enough to feel confident in, like, okay, I see where my caps were, and I see the other side of this and that. Because when I think about Joshua, Yeshua, Jesus, if that was his name, but I imagine it's about a person who said many of the things that they put in that book. And but this come from someone who was probably traveling on a boat, seeing other nations and learning, and if he was interested, as he seemed to be in all things, he would have perceived the understanding of how to piece together the messages that they were teaching about. Otherwise, there should be bigger stories of him telling them off for thinking about unity, telling them off for thinking about loving one another, people of every nation, tongue, and tribe, all coming together, and there were palm branches in their hand. I mean, well, so if Jesus traveled and he learned the actual message, that the theme in all religions, including the, a lot of it in the regular Bible that was made, put together. There's a lot of that just gets twerked around. Anyways, so I don't know. I reside in this message because of my upbringing and things, and I'm not bitter at anyone or anything or anybody out there unless I get reasons to react. Always want to defend. We're in a country now where you just, we got to watch out. A lot of hatred, discrimination. That's why Jesus didn't make in that story, and people didn't like it and take to what he said. They didn't understand his in union with one another. It was the opposite from eye for an eye and a whatever, attack this nation or that nation because they don't think like you. So it didn't pattern after Jesus was different, and so that wasn't going to work. They wanted to make sure no one else come up with telling this story. This is why knock, knock, knocking on a lot of cabs. People have built a lot on this, and so they have the need and the reasons to keep it going. So at some point, it's more important just to know what we actually know. I mean, that sounds silly for me to actually say, but I see the need, and I don't see how I could be convinced otherwise. Had songs hidden in my head. Still will for a while. Those ones struggling with the fires and the wars and a lot going on. And it was funny. I gave a little speech yesterday and talked about, importance of actually knowing the truth and facts. So, because in history, this is what led us to the problems in some of the religions, that are capping from here. We've inherited the earth. We're anything beyond that's belief. And I don't have a problem with different beliefs as long as when those beliefs think that they're so right that they go beyond that cap that it really is to what we actually know, that gap can't be jumped. If it's jumped, it's distorted in a way that's harmful. And then you try to control people, because if you thought that was your flavor of your religion was right, and you want to impose it on everyone else and run a country based on that religion, take away people's rights, you're just being hateful. You're not living Jesus' message. You gotta see that, at least from the parts of what he would have said left in there. But otherwise, hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, whatever you're doing, and yeah, I got a lot, but some of it I'm just holding and put it in a song. It was almost like a song. It was almost like a song. I don't know, it's an old song from my past in my head. Anyhow, I think that covered what that old thought that hit my head, and hopefully it made enough sense to some of you, and if not, maybe someday. And that's okay. I'm just an individual, and I'm much more than just an individual, because we've inherited this earth. And that sounds funny, but hey, it's the truth. But that's even complicated, and maybe I don't know the whole story. I'm just a babe still. Anyways, have a good one, guys. Dragging the line. And got to keep on dancing. See ya. I'm hitting the button now. Bob, push that button.